small, skinny African boy pedaling frantically on a bicycle. He's weaving in and out of potholes, dodging traffic on a congested freeway. He's desperately late and needs to cut across town. His mind is spinning in a state of panic. What will his mother do? She thinks he's in school. But in his mind, he holds a picture of a different future.
Can't stop me now. I'm right here at your door. I won't leave. I want more. What's up, danger?
The bike falls to the ground, and the game is over. My chance was gone.
When I was very little, I always thought that the best schools in the world didn't belong to people like me. The kids who end up going to schools like Stanford are geniuses who, from the age of 5 years old, everybody knew that they were destined for a place like Stanford. So I never really thought that was me.
Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown.
So often we put ourselves in boxes of what we can do and what we cannot do. I've learned in my journey to get out of that and to really think bigger and to think that I have so much more to offer than just a soccer player.
Baby, gon' give me your lo, 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 lo. You got me like...
Welcome to Stanford University's 132nd annual commencement.
If I allowed myself to be defined by tennis, I wouldn't be happy. You're the sum of your whole life, not your professional accomplishments. So when you get those opportunities to be part of something bigger than yourself, take them.
I come from a fighter environment, a place where you just learn to power through things. You just have the belief in yourself that you're gonna get better, the belief that you have what it takes. Burkina Faso is a beautiful country. I grew up in the capital city, Ouagadougou. People love soccer there. It's more than a sport, it's part of the culture. It's cool to get a nutmeg and the crowd goes crazy. So I was just a little kid watching and just wanting to do the same thing. It just felt like that's what you're supposed to grow into. I'm sure if I was in a different environment where maybe people were doctors or big-time politicians, maybe that's what I would have aspired to be. But in the area where I grew up in, everybody wanted to be a professional soccer player. That's the dream for everyone.
Quand il était petit, il aimait beaucoup le foot. Tout le temps, il se réveille trop tôt. Le matin, quand je me réveille, il est déjà parti pour faire le sport. Il n'attendait même pas à se déjeuner avant d'aller.
My parents both worked at the local market. We would play soccer in the market. I'd be running around with the ball, trying to dribble past people who are just walking and coming to buy stuff. got in trouble a lot of times. We were known by everybody as the kids that just cause trouble and try to play soccer in the middle of the market. From time to time, we would make our own soccer balls with plastic bags. You basically gather plastic bags and stuff them together, make it round and fluffy, and then at some point it's able to bounce and you can just kick it.
Making your own soccer ball can be a humbling experience, but nothing was going to stop me from playing.
And we would just find any field, just put 2 stones at the same distance apart, turn it into a goal, just play. Being in the market and being around a lot of people, I was just learning so much about life. I knew that for my mom to sell the stuff she was selling, it wasn't just about the quality of the things she was selling. So I would witness her change her emotions and her facial expressions right away and smile to clients, even if she wasn't having a good day. And be able to talk to them and make them feel comfortable. And I saw all of those things. And then when she stepped away, sometimes I would do the same thing. I'd say my mom had a very big impact in my life. In my language, sometimes you describe some kids as wisge, which means that they're more street smart. They're just more mature. I always knew that the whole time that my mom was trying to make me more mature. I could tell that was always her plan. I believe that's the foundation that has helped me throughout my journey. The environment that I grew up in, it's easy to get tempted into some bad stuff. To me, soccer was always what kept me out of all those things.
Moi-même, je vois que son talent là, ça dépasse les autres là. Parce que le Venise, il a été petit. Et puis moi, je vois qu'en tout cas, demain, il va être un bon truc. Et puis moi, je l'ai pris.
Let them know, little lion. Me see the song man got local, we international and we global. I'll tell you this, don't call we no local song this, cause we are
Anyone that played for Coach Issa, if he ever saw them with the wrong crowd, he intervenes.
Ce que moi j'ai fait pour les petits là, là où ils jouent là même là, moi je suis content même. Moi-même j'ai pris les petits là comme c'est mon enfant là.
Coach Issa was talking to my mom, to my dad, so he's very well aware. So he was really important in my life, especially at that age, and I knew that he wouldn't let me follow the wrong crowd.
little lion down, burn them down. Don't call we local.
Coach Issa saw some talent in me that at the time I didn't see in myself.
Il n'y avait pas un bon joueur plus que lui. Il n'y avait pas un petit qui m'écoute plus que lui. Ça doit nous tirer un jour. Hein? Contrôle balle là. Enfin, un contrôle balle petit. Un contre un ricain, voilà, y a là. Enfin, un coup de balle. Moi, je voulais qu'il va devenir grand là. Bon, j'ai assumé en même temps.
He made me play with older kids all the time, and he just gave me so much confidence.
Il a envie de faire, il a envie de jouer, il a envie d'être un grand joueur. Même si les grands le jouent, moi je le prends, je le mets là-bas, je le donne brassard. C'est lui qui était mon capitaine et tout le match.
And then I would just get the ball and just feel like I could do anything with the ball. Coach Issa really taught me a lot of things. I believe some of the things that I learned on the field translated to my life, even now.
Donc,
There were so many times where he would ask me to make a speech. So now any situation that I go in, I'm confident that I can represent myself. After playing with Coach Issa for a little while, I started to watch soccer on TV. We didn't have cable to watch those games at home. We would go to a restaurant and you had to pay. We would go to the back and make holes in the fence and then try to literally poke in and watch. It wasn't even just about the game or the arguments happening around it. How all these people know so much about all these players in these teams and there's just debate happening on which player is better, and you just wanted to be closer to it, and just like you listen to it while you're watching the game, and it's just so cool. And at the time, I remember I used to watch Samuel Eto'o at Barcelona. He was just so good.
Samuel Eto'o, big deflection on the shot, into the net. 17 minutes on the clock, Samuel Eto'o gets the goal.
To be honest, it was just cool to see a black player there doing so good. All it takes is for a kid to just see someone that looks like him or someone that grew up from the same environment that he's in, to see them at the biggest stage, and then they feel like they can do it. And that's what happened to me. I wanted to play on TV for sure, because I knew a lot of people are going to be watching it, especially if you play for the national team. Everybody literally stops what they're doing and goes to watch those games. And you just know how important it is to the nation, to the people there. My coach calls me, tells me, make sure that my teammates show up to the field tomorrow morning because there's a trial happening. And there's an academy from Ghana called Right to Dream coming. And that this is a big opportunity. I didn't know what to do. Go to the trial and skip school, but my mom is gonna be very mad. I didn't want to do that. But I also didn't want to lose this opportunity. I just decided to go to school, but I put my cleats in between my books and then went to the classroom. This is the first day of school, and I'm sitting in class, and I just felt like I was letting an opportunity go by. I just sat there and I was just thinking about it. I would have many more classes, but what if this was the one opportunity that would change my life forever? I just got up and walked out. That's not something that I thought I could do. And I grabbed my bike and I just started biking as fast as I could. I remember it just felt so long, and then I was tired. And then halfway through, I'm just like, okay, is this even worth it? I feel like I'm gonna get there late, but I just kept going. And then when I got there and realized that my age group was done playing, that crushed me. Then Coach Issa came and tapped me on the shoulder and he said, don't worry, you made the effort to get here, so I'm gonna have you play with the older kids.
Y'all wanna know why I don't stop? Y'all wanna know why I don't flop? EL means everlasting, everyday lit, got no stuff left to give to you, fake rappers, fake fans, you don't mean well.
There was over 200 kids at the trial. I didn't know Ousseni was late. That's classic Ousseni, right? Against all odds. I remember the pitch being stony, the ball moving around all over the place. So in order to control the ball, you have to be coordinated, you have to take care on your strike, you have to block out all the noise. And that's pretty much epitomizes Ousseni's journey and his character of blocking noise and getting to the top.
Coach Jeremy, he chose me, and I was the one person that made it.
It's rare that you have a kid who turns up at a trial. He's really smart on the pitch and scores on academic excellence, and Ousseni gave himself the best chance to succeed, and we were just there to enable that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna live forever, man.
And my mom, she didn't want me to go. My mother cared about school, so she didn't want to let me just go. So my dad followed to Ghana for the first time, and he got there and saw that, okay, the school at Right to Dream was better than the school I was going at in Burkina Faso.
These are the days of our lives. We live in the Ghanaian dream. Oh Lord, this life is not what it seems. It's a struggle, the pain with the scream. Oh Lord.
The move to Ghana was a little bit scary. Food was different. I didn't have my mom. All the other kids there were so good at soccer as well. Everybody had hope. Very few people spoke French.
It's better to lose the ball here. And you have time to push that you lose the ball inside our box. Okay? Play!
These are the days of our lives.
Your schooling here is to give you the chance not just to learn about chemistry, but whilst I teach you chemistry, I teach you how to learn to collaborate, how to learn to answer questions, how to learn to be respectful, how to learn to team play. All these things are the unique reasons why it makes this place a very different environment to work with.
Okay, maybe this is not as easy as I thought it would be.
These are the days of our lives.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Comment vous allez? Okay.
For someone who comes from French-speaking country, learning English is a big challenge. They feel like they're sidelined because they don't have any vocabulary to use in their communication with other people.
On pose des questions.
Ousseni Bouda was a very hardworking student, but not only hardworking, he worked strategically and smartly. You ask questions.
Ouais.
Il a provoking discussions.
On ne porte pas d'uniforme pour aller à l'école.
And that's something he was very intentional about.
Okay.
Chaque matin, il faut choisir.
Très bien.
He knows that if you provoke discussion, people will be speaking and will be learning from them.
Oui, very good.
That mindset helped him a lot to speed up his learning within a short period of time.
I felt like I had all the tools to make it there, just because of where I come from. Within 3 months, I was fluent in English.
He became one of the best English speakers in the academy. He overpowered most of those who are native English speakers.
Okay, merci beaucoup. Oui.
And that just taught me that, okay, I'm someone that can learn pretty quickly.
So Ousseni Bouda would ask questions that would piss me off. I knew he knew the answers, so why are you asking this question again? I got angry at him. He told me, say, while you are teaching, I know most of the Ghanaians, they don't get it. So I need to ask you this question again to bring you back so that you explain to them again once more. I said, wow, this is incredible. And he did it so that everyone would be in the same level. He was a very good team player, and this is something that I really loved about him.
Okay, merci beaucoup.
Over time, I just started doing better in school. On the field, I got more comfortable. The coaching system was really good. I started to think about the game tactically with a goal in mind. It helped me believe that I was capable of so many things. They were so smart guiding us and providing us with the right tools. Slowly, I was just getting more confident and was unlocking and believing in my ability and my potential.
Guys, teamwork!
We would go on all these tours to Europe for tournaments. There was always the idea of, okay, respect them, but not too much. It doesn't matter what academy they play at or where they come from, it's the same soccer and we're better than them. And these things just made us believe more in ourselves. I had to figure things out at Right to Dream. I had to decide, like, what do I really see myself as? Because when I first got there, I wanted to just become a professional soccer player. So there was a time where I had to really decide, okay, who am I? Because I felt like I was more than just a soccer player. I just felt like I would be wasting my potential if I only played soccer and didn't pursue school as well. The path of coming to the US allowed me to do both. Go to school and continue playing soccer, and I could become a professional soccer player and get a degree in the US.
One journey ends for another to begin.
By the time I left Right to Dream, I believed that I could come to the US and go to a school like Stanford.
This is a special day for you, and congratulations. I'm extremely proud of you. You are somebody that has always been his true self, and you've never let anybody tell you what your dreams should be.
As I was leaving Right to Dream on the last day, I felt that because they made me believe that.
And until we meet again, congratulations and good luck.
Welcome to Millbrook School, to this next chapter in your lives.
Ousseni Bouda arrived a little nervous, but determined to be part of our community. That first year as a freshman on the soccer team, He was not a superstar.
The first year is really a learning year. You're still not exactly sure what kind of role to take on the team.
And I suspect that that minor role was not what he was used to.
Yo, who be the man? Me, L-O-M. Who go fi do what I do? I'm the champ. Who would have thought I grew up in hell and end up in heaven and do it again? I'm so lit.
I didn't have the same players that I had at Right to Dream to make the same runs or to provide me with the crosses. At Maybrook, we had some kids from the hockey team, the lacrosse team, the basketball team, all playing soccer just because they had to play a sport in the fall. I quickly understood that I had to be able to lead them. I had to be able to really encourage them to make them better.
We're giving them too much respect. Yeah, they're not good.
My spirit be high. Sometimes my feet fast. My greatness is mountain. That's the only way I can ever rest.
The first year was hard, for sure.
By the end of the season, he had decided that there was one glaring issue, and that was he just wasn't big enough.
My beats are always knocking, that's how we open doors. Ideas are always pouring, my cup it overflows. My cup it runneth over, ain't talking DUIs. You never get no closure, that's how they feed you lies.
As soon as the season was over, he committed himself to a program of weightlifting, intensive training, of conditioning, to make sure that he was going to be ready for his second season, and he wasn't going to get pushed off the ball by anybody.
I've always been driven by the whole idea of growing and trying to do better the next season or the next day.
Ousseni's second year, he was tackling harder. He was challenging for the ball more. Ousseni's presence permitted and encouraged the maturing of the program.
I would speak to the coach and show them some of the drills that we were doing at Right to Dream.
I can take the pressure, I got a clean heart. This music game will stress you, this is a mean art.
RTD drills, the Right to Dream drills.
My relationship with Coach Siganthaler was amazing. He knew the kind of standards I was setting for myself, and I understood what kind of standard he wanted for the team.
Ousseni came back to school as a junior, really fired up.
More hungry for goals, for wins. I felt like we had a shot at winning the championship.
He's clearly the top player on our team. He's elected captain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Family!
We had a Cinderella season. We beat Hotchkiss School for the first time in 25 years. Ousseni led the team in scoring. 13 as a freshman, 20-something as a sophomore, 49 as a junior. Surpassing the single-season scoring record which had been set by his Right to Dream colleague, Edward Opoku. We went on to make the playoffs that year. We were an underdog.
We're all in this together. You've gotten this far for a reason.
Played and beat the number 2 and number 3 seeds in the quarter and semifinals.
Game. Nice work.
And then fell to a very powerful team in the final game.
Not winning the championship that year was devastating. I was crushed. I felt like I did everything I could.
Thankfully, there was good news for Ousseni at the end of that season when he was awarded the Gatorade Player of the Year as the best American high school player in the United States.
We're naming Ousseni as the 2017-2018 Gatorade National Boys Soccer Player.
Winning the Gatorade Player of the Year to get the national recognition was a great feeling, especially because I got to win it in front of a lot of people that I care about.
To be the Gatorade Player of the Year, it is the most prestigious award a high school athlete in the United States can win. Ousseni's senior year, he started scoring goals in bunches. Can you imagine being the Gatorade Player of the Year as a junior and going to play your senior year? Do you think there's a team in the country that doesn't know who you are? What are they going to do? 2, 3 defenders every time you get the ball. He still scored 61 goals. Ousseni beat his own record from junior year to senior year, and then set the career scoring record for all soccer players ever in the history of Millbrook. His career ended with 160 goals. I will be shocked if anyone gets close. We scored 101 goals that season. He didn't have them all. 20 of his teammates put goals in the net. That's because he was drawing the attention of the defenders. And instead of the kids trying to force the ball to Ousseni anyway, as we did the year before, they had the confidence and his support to bypass him and go around and try it themselves. That whole team, with Ousseni as the inspiration, came together and agreed it wasn't going to happen a second year in a row. They were going to play the best soccer they could. We were the 8th seed his junior year. We were the #1 seed his senior year. And we cruised through the playoffs. He capped his season in the championship game under the lights on a frozen field in Worcester, Massachusetts, against a very strong team.
I told myself that I was not going to let this opportunity go to waste.
You're the best team in New England in your division. You're going to prove it to everybody who's watching this evening.
I wanted to win that trophy. It was my last game for Millbrook. I wanted to make it a memorable game.
In that championship game, they are fronting him, they're backing him, and they're throwing a third kid in just in case. They're pushing and shoving. There's nothing we can do about it.
When we go back in the second half, I'm going to go hard. This is the last game of the season. I'm going to start taking the ball to the wides.
He had to fight his way through every time. He just decided that evening he was going to win the game for us. He scored basically from sheer will. He scored all 5 of our goals. To win 5-1.
In 4 years. 4 years working for this moment right here.
His numbers, his performance, his maturity, his selflessness, those should have won him the Gatorade Player of the Year award a second time. He didn't win it.
My senior year couldn't have gone any better. When it mattered most, I was there and I showed up and I looked at all my teammates and saw all the hard work we put in that season. That's bigger than winning the Gatorade National Player of the Year.
The final measure of his maturity as a high school senior is that while that had to sting, he never discussed it with me. He simply moved forward with the next task, which was Stanford.
I got a call and it was from the Stanford's men's soccer coach. And he told me that I'm officially in, so like I'm in it. It's the same kid that was on his red bicycle. The same kid that disobeyed his mom to go at the trials. And I'm just so thankful to be able.
Ousseni Bouda.
Life is beautiful. Leave it better than you found it. Whoever, whatever, wherever it is.
When I was 11 and when I first got to Right to Dream, I had no idea one day I would be standing here today. I've been able to dream bigger, and that's why I'm going to Stanford now.
Stanford is a truly unique university. We absolutely can only recruit the most incredible students in the world. When I first spoke to Ousseni, it was like, here's what you would have to do to come here and not many people are willing to do that. He ain't coming here, he's not going to do the schoolwork, he's going to be getting chased after by agents. I obviously underestimated the man. The moment Ousseni stepped onto the pitch, we realized that he was an amazing competitor. The bigger the challenge, the more excited he got.
Feathery control there from Bouda. Nice work from Bouda. Works a give and go here.
We knew he could attack, but all of the little parts of the game, that sometimes attacking people with his flair, you know, they've been given a free pass to those moments. And just from day one, he was ready to compete in every way.
I just felt like I was surrounded by greatness. So I thought I was a hard worker. Then I saw people that worked harder than me at Stanford. They just pushed me to try harder in the classroom and on the field.
Bouda, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, very aggressive.
Bouda strikes it, and in, that got it.
Ousseni won the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year award. It's a phenomenal achievement in one of the most competitive conferences in the country.
At Stanford, I really got the confirmation that I have a growth mindset.
Bouda fires it in. Oh my.
And Stanford draws first blood.
We look at having enough of a really strong self-concept to know you're good.
Strikes it, and in.
And enough humility to know that you can continue to grow.
Ousseni Bouda with the header.
And Ousseni has those two categories amazingly.
Bouda, he's a one-man show.
Those are some of those mindset things that really separate out elite athletes from great athletes.
Oh, what a hit!
To go to the MLS and leave school earlier was a really stressful decision for me.
Today, childhood dreams come true and the professional journey begins.
I had this opportunity to make my dream come true. Becoming a professional soccer player just gives me a bigger platform to impact the lives of other people, especially back home.
I was very, very disappointed that he was going to be leaving without a Stanford degree.
The San Jose Earthquakes select from Stanford University, Ousseni Bouda.
Bouda, he's the most talented player in this draft class, simply put.
How does this moment feel right now?
It's just a blessing. I'm so happy I'm now a professional soccer player. Honestly, I feel like I got very lucky to get drafted by the San Jose Earthquakes and stay in the Bay Area, which allowed me to finish up on the last couple of classes that I had at Stanford.
He's playing professional soccer and completing a degree at a highly selective institution in this country. It defies explanation. It's what illuminates how exemplary an individual Ousseni Bouda truly is.
Ousseni has been a part of the Big Homie Project since his time at Stanford. We bridge the network and opportunity gap, and we connect foster youth in communities like East Palo Alto with people who work within industries that lack diversity. Ousseni was very inspired by how similar their lives were to his and his upbringing.
Wherever I am, I'm always thinking about what kind of impact I can have in the community.
You can't aspire to be what you don't see. Ousseni is living proof that it's all about showing these kids what's possible. If you work hard, if you surround yourself around the right people, and if you just put your head down and do what you have to do, you can continue to close that gap between where you are and where you ultimately want to be.
What was your biggest dream you ever accomplished in life?
Well, I think tomorrow would be a big dream come true for me, graduating from Stanford. So,
when you think of what you would love to be of somebody who's a graduate of your program, Ousseni Bouda is that person. Even though we didn't quite fulfill the full story as a player here, he's absolutely fulfilled the full story as the student he came here to be.
Graduating from Stanford is it's a big achievement for me. I know what it means to my mom. what it means to people at Right to Dream, my coach at Millbrook. I know that this is going to be a proud moment for everyone who has helped me get to this point.
Ousseni Bouda specialized in economic development, world economy, and Africa. Ousseni plays professional soccer for the San Jose Earthquakes.
One of the most important things that I learned at Stanford was that a kid from Burkina Faso can do well at a place like Stanford. And by the time I graduated, I felt like, okay, I belong here.
Not for oneself, but for others. And Ousseni meant that. I can't help but see Ousseni as the most remarkable of all athletes I've ever had the chance to coach.
If I look at the bigger picture, graduating from Stanford, playing for the Earthquakes, representing my country, those are all goals that I wrote down since my time at Right to Dream. Playing for my national team was such a wonderful moment for me and my family. I always felt like my whole life I've been representing Burkina Faso. This time I got the opportunity to put the jersey of the national team on and actually go there and represent the country. All these transitions that I've gone through in my life have made me a stronger person. They've also made me a very flexible person. They've taught me to look at the world through different lenses. It has not been an easy journey, but all the adaptation have taught me to be stronger because the only thing that's been constant has been me. And I've had to believe in myself that I can do it over and over again.